I like that record. I want this song. I don't want that song. That's a white guy who's making that decision. I like the song with the obscenity. I don't like the song with the politics. So we're going to have this one on the CD and not that one. You understand? Or you want to continue to work for us? So that's the story of hip-hop, according to Patricia Rose.
Did you hear that? Shalom. So the so-called white man, the Jewish people, Amalekites, you know what I'm saying, and other Edomites run the music industry. And why is this so important to know this? Because these rappers socially engineer our people, right? That's why they dress a certain way. That's why they talk a certain way. They'll copy what they see in these videos, in the lyrics. That's why they're killing each other. That's why a lot of these jakes are sipping lean, right? Where they learn all this behavior from? The rappers, right? The rap music, right, is the social engineering programming that the so-called white men use to program our men and our women. And that's why you seeing this kind of degenerate of our people. I'm gonna show you what I mean. All right, so you heard that. 1 second. So I'm gonna show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. So you looking at, I think this guy named Charlie Boat, but he shows different hoods, so-called hoods throughout Babylon, America, where you Jake stay at, and it's the same, like they clone Tyrone. It's the same kind of Jakes doing the same kind of thing. Where did this come from? It came from a big influence on Jake is the rap music, because what the so-called white man has figured out, if he can put so-called money behind a rapper, right, and Jake is in poverty, right? Most Jakes are suffering financially, right? They're looking for a way out of, poverty. They gonna go to the nearest thing that they see available. And when you don't have a father in the household, I'm gonna get into that law that the Edomites put into place. So the father would not be in a household if a woman was on welfare. And why is that so important to know? Because most of these Jakes, their father is not in the household, incarcerated, dead, right? This not in their life in general. And that leads to them looking for a male role model, right? Where they're going to look to these rappers, right? They're going to mimic and copy what they see in these rap videos and what they hear them rappers talking about. They're going to copy that. So check this out. And the so-called white man, they know this. They set all this up to destroy our people. Check this out.
Well, Charles, I remember your name. I forgot your name already. Okay, Debo. Okay. Gang. Okay, I know these other guys back here. I don't know if they want to get their names or whatever. So yeah, I know what it is. King Josie, Mac Block, gang.
You see that gang? Where they get that from? Where they get this? The way they dress, the way they talk. This been socially engineered through the rap music, right? Because again, if you don't have a role model, right, everybody's looking for a role model, whether it be positive or negative. These Jakes don't know better because they've been heavily sedated under this wine, right? So when they see these rappers, they don't know that this is a trap, right? So when they see these rappers push death, drug dealing, sipping lean, killing, selling drugs, doing drugs, these Jakes, by them not having a father figure to guide them, they don't know that they're getting set up for failure, right? They're getting set up to go into prison, right? Or get put to death or become one of these degenerates that you see, right? So this all a plot in the scheme, as you saw in the opening of that video. And I had did a lesson on the meeting that changed hip hop, right? That was I think Crazy Bone, Busy Bone, one of them. But he went into that in the interview. He had broken all down that they had this secret meeting that they would be pushing, changing the whole, you know what I'm saying, vibration of so-called rap music, making it negative. That's why you got something called NWA. All the Jewish people are behind this music to keep you Jakes in sin, to keep you under this black death culture. Right? Give me 1 second. And I'm going to take you some more down this rabbit hole. So let's hit this first scripture, the book of Psalms 37 and 12. Right? Let's go to the KJB, then I'm going to jump back up. It says the wicked plotted against the just. So you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans, you're supposed to be the just people. You're supposed to be the righteous people. But you've been seduced by the society and you became very wicked, right? And gnashing upon him with his teeth. So this devil has plotted against our people in many different ways that you can't even imagine. And most of our people are completely ignorant to this, or they just naive. Let's go to the top. It says, I like this one. It says, bring in Standard Bible. At the very top, it says, the wicked. Who is the wicked? The so-called white man. How do you marvel at that, knowing his devil track record, right? It says the wicked scheme against the righteous and gnash their teeth at them, right? So how they do this? What is one of the ways that they do this? Through the rap music, the programming, right? Let's go to this word scheme. Because that's the scheme that you saw in the first and the opening of the video. I got other videos, I can't get to them all, but they got this one video, this guy, I can't think of his name, but he a rapper or whatever, but he's dancing on top of the table like a monkey, right, in front of all these Edomite executives, right, and they the one that can, I think the guy named Bobby Smurder, whatever, so he's dancing like a little monkey on top of the table, right, performing, and all these executives, all these decision makers, right, that control these record labels are all Edomites, right? So they intentionally put the music out here to get our people to do criminal activity, to get them commit sin, destroy themselves, kill each other, keep them lost, and keep them totally distracted. It says scheme. Check this out. It says a large-scale systematic plan or arrangement for attaining a particular object or putting a particular idea into effect. Do you hear this? As we went into that scripture, this was all a scheme to make the rap music demonic so our people can copy this, because most of the Jakes don't have no father figure. They want to look up to somebody, so they're going to look up to these rappers because these rappers represent a form of success. Whether it be wicked, they still look up to that because Jake trying to make it, right? And they looking like, if this guy made it, that's what I'm going to copy. It says scheme, a large-scale systematic plan. That was the meeting and change hip-hop. Like you saw in the beginning of this video, they purposely do this. It's not a conspiracy theory. It says plan or arrangement for attaining a particular object or putting a particular ideal into effect. There you go. Check these words out right here, these synonyms, similar words. It says program. So this is all a program to really targeted towards the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American men, right? And the women as well. It's a strategy. Look at that. Game plan. So you getting plotted on, you don't even get it. And this adds to our people being naive and gullible about what's really going on in this world, right? So we'll tell them this, and they can't really wrap their mind around this. But you think somebody that put you in slavery for over 250 years, right? 250 years plus, you still in captivity. Let's say 400 plus years. You think they're going to ever do the right thing and really be righteous? No, that's not going to happen. That's what you're naive about. It says naive, having or showing a lack of experience. It says a lack of judgment or information. Most of our people are ill-informed on what's really going on in this world. You know what I'm saying? So they naive. They don't get it. Right? And you get the point. Let's go to this word gullible. And our people are very gullible as well, because we'll tell them that this is going on, and it's like they don't understand what we're saying. Gullible. It says easily persuaded to believe something, right? Let's go to some more. That's how they get you jakes with the politics. All they got to do is say a nice speech, and they already got you ninjas in tears, and you going to go cast your vote, thinking things are going to change, right? So the biggest enchantment is that television, right? I'm going to do a lesson on that a whole nother day. It says gullible, easily deceived or tricked. That's the MO of our people. Easily deceived or tricked. It says are too willing to believe everything that other people say. If one of these things you believe pretty much all of is Christianity, right? That's what you've been seduced with until you wake up, until you come out of that. So our people are easily deceived, tricked. They're gullible. They fall for anything. They follow anything besides the truth. And they're going to show you how people got some heavy demons on them. Let's go here. So I'm gonna connect this real quick. So this I put in like so-called J people that could, American business people in media. So they control everything in America pretty much. Music industry, these are all J people, right? Atlantic Records. All your major record labels and even the subsidiary labels that's under the major record labels, all controlled by the J people. Amalekites, Edomites. Look, Sony, all these are J people. You can screenshot this, do your own homework. RCA, right? Warner Music. All of them. Columbia Records, Def Jam. Even you thought Def Jam was Russell Simmons or whatever. No, Edomite is running that. He's just a face, right? I mean, Universal Music Publishing. They control everything. Clive Davis. What's this devil at? Rick Rubin. These are all J people, right? So that they make this music destructive so they can keep our people living a destructive life. Now you see the after effects. That's why you watch one of these videos in the hood and you see these jakes been programmed to have their pants off their ass. They've been programmed to smoke weed. They've been programmed to be shoot 'em up kids, kill boys. Let's go here. And these devils knew what they was doing when they kicked the fathers out the home, right? It made our women sided with the system. Most of our women, right, they got seduced by the serpent. It says right here, I'm going to connect all this so you can get it. It says right here at the top, it says the man in the house rule was a welfare policy in the 1960s. So that was the beginning of when they started destructing, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American family. Salaki. 1960s that prevented adult men from living with mothers and children who receive assistance. So what they did is intentionally crippled the men, right? So the men, they intentionally, made them, right, not make a lot of money, just to put it into straight up talk. And if a man can't be self-reliant on himself, right, you have to get assistance. So these women would turn to the government to get the assistance because the man couldn't get a good job because these Edomites fixed the system. They rigged the system where most Jake men couldn't get good jobs, right? And a woman will kick the man out the house, treat him like shit, dehumanize that man in a lot of cases, and turn to the government. But this was all a scheme. This was all a plot, right? Now, if you have no father in the household, the kid is going to be raised by solely the mother, and they're going to be looking up for a male influence. And what's the best influence they can look to? Somebody that's successful, right? According to their eyes, will be a rapper. That all makes sense. That's why I'm going to go back into that video, right? And you can screenshot it, study for yourself, right? Too much to get to. I'm going to do this in my next lesson. next lesson, Salaki. My allergies kind of bugging out on me. But this is quiet weapons for silent wars. So this is a quiet weapon used in the music industry for a silent war, right? You thought, all our people know warfare is dropping missiles, bombs and tanks. Nah, it's wars that happen like that you can't comprehend. It's spiritual wars, right? That manifest themselves in the physical, right? So I'm going to go back. Give me 1 second. Right, I'm going to show you what the programming is, how they've been groomed and how they've been programmed to act this way. Check this out.
King Josie, my Glock, gang. You know, a whole lot of gang shit, man. You know how we bumping out here.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna ask y'all the questions that people always asking me.
You see the weed, you see the dreads, you see that rap vibration put on these jakes. Right? Check it out.
I want to know I live in Detroit, but like Chicago famous for their gangs. Y'all known for y'all organized gangs. I remember, what's the name of the most like prominent gangs in Chicago?
I don't know about all that.
And the so-called white man set it all this up to entrap you jakes. Hopefully this lesson was edifying. Call Hala Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Rachat Kodash. Shalom.